Hey guys, I want to show you this cool little experiment, fun thing with mercury. Mercury likes to form an amalgam with many different types of metal. One of them is copper, and I learned this back in my gold mining days when I did that as a hobby. We would take these big copper plates and put them in the front of our sluice box and coat them with mercury. The problem is it doesn't work very well trying to coat copper with mercury, because there's a layer of oxidation on the mercury. So when you put the little ball on there, you just end up following it around, and you got to smash it down and try to rub it, and it's real difficult. So what we would do is we would take our mercury. You could see I have a little bit here. I have this great big bottle. It's not quite as shiny. That's because it's like almost 100 years old. It's an antique bottle from Bethlehem Apparatus, but it's oxidized. That's Mercury's version of rust. If I had collected all of that, filtered it, I could heat it up and vaporize it and then recollect it as fresh, clean mercury. But of course I'm not going to do that. It's an awful lot of work for almost nothing. So for this process, what we would do is we would dissolve a nice blob of mercury into nitric acid. And this is some that I've had sitting around since 2010, I believe. But as you can see, it formed mercury 2 nitrate is what those crystals are called. And that's basically a crystal form of mercury. If you were to take those out of there, those crystals, process them a different way with different chemicals, you can turn all those yellow crystals right back into mercury metal. It's really neat. But anyways, but there's still a lot of mercury that's dissolved into the actual nitric acid. That's just some of it that collected and turned into crystals. A lot of it is still in that solution. It's clear, you can't see it, but it's in there. So what I've done is I took the syringe here and I drew a little bit out, and I have this penny here, and I'll show you. Let me zoom in. I'll zoom in for you guys. It's really neat. There we go. I'll zoom in and just put a drop there. Ooh, that happened quick. Because I just cleaned this penny. I'll put it over here on the dirty area. And you see it's foaming up a little bit. That's because the nitric acid has got to clean the corrosion off. Over here where I cleaned it, it's sticking right away. But you can see, let me zoom in a little closer. Get it real close there. It's kind of a greenish blue color. That's the copper oxide. That's basically copper's version of rust. It's blue, I believe, if I understand that correctly. So what I'll do here, I could spread this around, but I don't have a utensil to do it with, so I'm just going to squirt more on there. I'm going to try to coat the entire surface of this penny with this dissolved mercury that's been dissolved in nitric acid. Let's see let's just give it a squirt here and quit playing around. Now, who cares if it gets on the other pennies in there? Huh? Let's back it up a bit here. I'm just going to squirt them on there. And then I'll shake it up. We can see what they look like when I'm done. See, it's happening already. Oh, don't lose our penny. It's right there. So actually, I'm going to take it out of there. Don't mix it up. See, this one's pretty corroded. It doesn't look like it, but it's got those big black spots on there. And I don't think that's corrosion. That's some other type of gunk, filth from being passed around in the general population for years and years. So that would have to be either scraped off or washed or sit in this mixture for a long time before it'll work properly. Here it is. Shake it up. There's our penny. I have this cup of water here. It's a little dirty. I did this once already, off camera. Play with it. I'll just drop it on my paper towel here. Ooh, that looks nice. Don't mind the dog. He's a little happy guy. Always happy all the time. Good watchdog. Little Chewini. And here's your penny. And this penny, it's slippery. It feels like it's wet. And it's real slippery. And that's because it's coated with that mercury. And mercury being a metal that's liquid, it acts like there's little resistance, so it's real slippery. Now some of you might be worried about me touching this, but don't worry. That mercury is staying on that penny. It's not getting on me. And elemental mercury is pretty much safe to touch. The solid metal, it's the gas form of mercury that you have to worry about, this stuff that's in those light bulbs. And it's also the water soluble forms of mercury, such as those salts that I have over there. Those are very dangerous because our bodies are made out of water, and they put that stuff in some vaccines as a preservative, believe it or not.